everybody, DeathsStalker here. So I'm going to go down another road, and this road is a little strange, and it is called Glancaster Road. And the reason why this road is a wee bit strange is that this road got cut in half because they expanded the runway at the airport. So I'm going to take you down as far as I can, and then I'm going to have to loop around the runway to get back to the other side of the road so I can show you the whole thing. Now, the original Mount Hope Airport was just like a small local airport, and they decided they wanted to get into a passenger service because, hey, that's where the money is. And so they lengthened the runway to get the bigger planes in. And here we are like 30 years later, and the passenger service is still hasn't changed very much since they did it 30 years ago. So it's become more of a cargo hub than a passenger hub. They have airlines come in, and then they pull out after a while. There's just not the population here to make it a regular destination for passenger travel. Like if you're going to Hamilton or the Hamilton Burlington sort of area, yeah, it makes sense. But you know, it works good for like charters to go down to Florida or to Myrtle Beach, that sort of stuff. Cuba. But it's never going to be a hub where you're going to catch a plane and fly to London and whatnot. You know, maybe another 30, 40 years from now, when the population gets up to be like maybe a couple million, but no. But this whole area here is like, you know, empty country sort of thing. It's actually a nice place to ride and just, you know, want to clear your head and not have to worry about having somebody in a Buick run you over. Oh, and if you're wondering about, you're seeing solar panels on a lot of houses, the previous government set up this program where you could get these rebates and whatnot for solar setups at your house, and the power utility had to automatically hook them up at no extra cost to the homeowners, sort of thing. It was a massive money pit, and solar companies were given like a preferred rate. It's one of the reasons why our province has the highest debt per capita in North America now. And when you're considering how bad California's run, that was a pretty good job. Can pick it up, but you can actually see the airport over there on the right hand side there. We got a fair bit of traffic here. Like we have a lot of the courier companies like UPS and whatnot, and Later fly in there as a hub. I know some friends have actually flown their WestJet's, a Canadian airline that runs through a lot of Canada and some other areas as well, and they're a very popular company to fly with. Ooh, there's some farm equipment. just so you know, I tried to do this last year, and they were actually replacing some of the culverts in the road, so the road was actually stopped just a little bit up here because they had the whole road ripped up. So I'm sort of like catching up on some of the roads I missed. Like this culvert here was replaced, and there was another big one up here further up. But you can see this was all country area, because you can tell by the way the houses are set up. If you notice, there's no fire hydrants along here, which means there's no water service. So the people here are on wells, or they're on cisterns, which are just basically water tanks that are have a truck show up and just deliver, you know, a couple thousand gallons of water to supply your house. And their household waste would be a septic system. Oh man, I can smell coffee. So anyways, this is where the road ends right now, and you can see just across the runway there is where it continues on. So I am going to have to loop around and detour around to get to it. But it's you can see that's the airport down. There's a gate down there, but you have to, airport personnel can get through. But if you people actually sit here and photograph planes taking off and landing. They used to have air shows here. They don't have them anymore technically because of insurance. But people used to sit down here and video all the warbirds coming and going. So I'm just going to cut off here, and I'll pick up again once I get on the other side. You can see him at the other side of the road across the airport runway, and like I say, before they lengthened the runway, this was a continuous road. You could drive from one side to the other, but not anymore. Now when I was growing up, this particular side of the road was more developed because it was sort of closer to like Hamilton. Again, you can see a lot of these houses, they were 1960s style ranch homes, which are pretty common up here. You know, you build large one-story homes because you have the land. There's no reason to build a second floor. Of course, some people do. Actually, used to have a friend here that actually lived on this road. Used to go visit him once in a while, but then he decided this was getting too built up, so he moved about 40 miles further out. Didn't like all those city folks encroaching on his land. And of course, these stop signs weren't there either. They would have one on the end, they never had them in the middle. Back in the mid 1970s, up until probably the late 1980s, you used to have an air show at Mount Hope Airport, or Hamilton Airport. It was put on by Warplane Heritage. They used it as a fundraiser. And my cousins used to live around here. Not exactly, we are talking like 30 plus years away, so I can't remember exactly which one of these houses it was. But we used to come out here and sit in their backyard, and the planes would actually fly right over top of it, because they used to fly and do a loop, like a round, like a oval type of a circuit, and that's how they did the air show. You know, you had the planes doing aerobatics and whatnot, but generally the warbirds would just do like fly an oval style circuit. They make a pass down the runway and people go ooh and ah, and then they fly over this area, then they come back down over the runway again. It was kind of cool having a B-17 or P-51s flying right over your house. But this section of road road here. I haven't been down it in probably 20 years or better. So I'm just sort of like taking it all in. Yeah, you can see what I mean by the development coming up here, because this used to be all empty. And now we got a whack of townhouses. I believe this area here is still part of Ancaster, so the property values and the taxes and whatnot are pretty high. So they're basically building a lot of like very tight townhouses so people can afford to buy them, because you know, like the land prices in Ancaster are just, you know, it's just scary. I can't see how anybody nowadays starting off could, like, living in Ancaster, it's just not going to happen unless you win the lottery or your parents are very rich.